Okay, I got all my holes put in here, and you need to make sure you've got them all in the right place before you get too far along into this. So you want to check that, make sure you've got them in the right place. I just turned off my construction layer, and I'm on the center layer now. Um, I want to come over here to annotate. I want to change over to my center line dimension style that we made. Okay, and I want to put in center marks on these counter bore holes that we've got because they're of big enough size they're actually going to have center lines coming out from. So that's why we set up that style. Okay. All right. So that looks good there. Now let's go over to our layout tab and let's go ahead and get that set. And this way we can check our dimension style settings. And we're going to do this at a 1 to 2 scale. And I want to go ahead and get it centered up. That looks, I bumped it. Let me move it over a little bit. Okay, so that looks pretty good there. Let me lock that. And let's check our line type scale here. Object snaps, there we go. So we're about 0.12, okay, on that dash, so that's good. So I don't think we're going to have to line type scale much of anything on this drawing. Okay, so now let's go back to model space, and let's change over to our center mark style, and put a center mark on each of these holes. And you can put them, you can copy them. However you want to do it. Like I'm just continually hitting my space bar and starting the command over again. And don't know if you've noticed it yet or not, but this thing is somewhat symmetrical. So I don't know if it'd be quicker to mirror a lot of the things or not. I don't know. Okay, so I got all these center marks in. Now I want to change back to my annotative dimension style, just so that I don't make a boo-boo here on anything. So I do that. I want to put in center lines now, still on my center layer. Okay, if you look at the text, you'll notice that the center line patterns, where the lines are close to each other, the patterns match, even though the lines are of different lengths. So what we're looking for here is a excuse me, is a certain look of what we've got going, so that it looks nice and neat. Now then, with let's start with our upper line up here, okay? And let's do it first. So I'm just going to take. I mean, we could try drawing a line in there, and let's see how that ends up looking. We got no pattern to it. So if I take this one and just drag it across, now I pick up a pattern. Okay, so I know my length of my line's got to go. So let me select that little short one and delete it. Okay, so that it looks kind of big right now, but when I come over here to my sheet size, let's check that. Yeah, that's a little big. So we may end up having to line type scale some of those anyway. Okay, so I've got that one, but now over here on this end, this one I can just drag out and join to there. And I'll do the same here on the left. Okay. Um, and so we can do the same thing at the bottom. Okay. And then if you notice the vertical ones left and right, they're kind of the same. What I would recommend is however you choose to do these, always move in the same direction with the same lines. Like these two, I took the line on the left and extended it to the right. Did the same thing down here. Always use the same one. That way you get the same kind of pattern since this thing is symmetrical. Um, some of these we're just going to be better off drawing actual lines. Excuse me, like with this one here. And I'm going to take that line, I'm going to take it outside for right now because what we're going to do, we're going to extend and trim everything against the edge of our part here. Okay, I'll go ahead and do the next one here. Let's take this line and just extend it over like we did on the upper example. I don't know that we're not gonna be able to get our patterns to match totally, but we'll play with this and see what direction we go with it. So just kind of follow through. I'm gonna pause the video and draw some more center lines in here, and then we'll catch back up in a minute. Okay, I've got all my center lines drawn in. I do believe. Okay, now I want to trim or extend against this. So I'm going to trim all of those off, but then some of these I want to extend out. That may not make that. So, and we're just going to do the top edge and the left edge. Okay, so that looks good now. Now our pattern just looks kind of weak. So I'm not sure how that's gonna play out. Let's work on that a little bit. Let's try some line type scale because remember it was a little big in paper space. Oh, I need line type scale. Let's go with a 0.5. Well, I don't know. Let's just see over here. Okay, length is good on them. We'll see how it goes. Maybe that'll be all right. Although some of them, I don't know that we really. I'm just playing with some stuff. All right, let's change that to 2. To what actually I think in our, I don't know if I'd be better off to dimension it. I think so. So let's go back and, oop, and just make our center pattern between the circles. I think that's going to look better in the long run. Oh, yeah, I think that'll be all right there. Mm, 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 mm. 'Cause I think that gives us a little bit nicer looking pattern. And now we'll come in and start doing some dimensioning, okay? Um, so let's go to annotate. We'll be on our annotative dimension style. Put them on the dimension layer. And I'm going to go either here with the dim command, or if you're in menu tab, you can go ordinate. You can type dim ordinate. Either one of those will work. If we go dim command, we want to choose ordinate. And then I'm going to come up here, just come up here a little long with it and place it, because we're going to line those up in a little bit. And we're just going to go through and hit all of these, pull them up, and then we'll put some jogs on to get them all lined up. And we'll line them up with a construction line. I'll show you that. Okay. So that's got my top side looking good there. Now I want to bring my construction layer back up. All right, and say I got this one construction line right here across the top. Let's do an offset. We're going to go 3/4 of an inch up, and that's where I want to align my text onto that. And my reasoning is over here. Remember, our first dimension is supposed to be 3/8 of an inch off because we're at half size. That distance right there will be 3/8 of an inch because we set it at 3/4 over here. So now what we'll do is we'll pull all these dimensions back down. Now this one is going to have to get a jog. And so I'm kind of going to pull it over, and then I can come back in and kind of adjust that down a little bit. Oh, let's see. Let me turn off my ortho. Okay. I think that'll look okay. So some of these you got to have jogs put in them, so you're just going to have to play with that. to get enough spacing between the text so that you're able to read that okay. All right, so go ahead and pull these down, and then you'll do the same thing coming down the left side here, dimensioning, and then we'll pick back up.